Any move for a family can throw up big challenges. But imagine if that move was to the other side of the world. Finding the right house, juggling finances and getting a job is all daunting enough. But if your partner can't face leaving their friends and family behind, it becomes a huge decision to make.
Melanie Andrews is desperate to convince husband Rob that a life down under is better for their future and worth giving up family ties in the UK.
My aunt and uncle, they mean everything to me. Leaving them behind is just going to be very hard.
After a week of shocks...
I'm not liking this at the moment.
Surprises...
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm crying.
and tumbles, they'll have to face a choice that could leave someone broken-hearted.
Just don't know how much I'd resent him later on for not going.
Australia's warm climate and golden beaches have long been a magnet for Brits seeking a new life abroad. On average, nearly 100 of us emigrate to Australia every day, but the dream doesn't always match up to reality, and as many as a third of new arrivals end up heading back home.
The Andrews have 1 week to experience the reality of life in Australia before they decide whether to make the move a permanent one. But to make that choice means leaving Folkestone far behind and travelling to the other side of the world.
In fact, it's 9,000 miles, 2 flights and 22 hours in the air, and the long journey has given them time to think about the adventure ahead.
I think we're excited about this week, aren't we? You know, I'm nervous as well, but I'm really looking forward to it. I, just want to get in there and convince Rob that it's going to be good.
It's going to be more of a reality check.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big test this week.
This is sort of like the make or break.
They set off for a week that could change their lives forever. It's a world away from their home in Folkestone, Kent. 35-year-old Mel and husband Rob, who's 40, along with their children Kobe 7 and little Lexi 3, share a happy home. But for Mel, it's Australia that offers the life she's dreamt of since she was a teenager.
I'd originally planned to go travelling for 6 weeks and it fell through, so I couldn't go. And there was a second time that I was going to go and that fell through, and I was so upset and so gutted that I couldn't go.
No, I wanted to take her, to be honest.
So it's third time lucky, and after being there on holiday for 3 weeks, I absolutely loved it, and Kobe and Lexi did as well, and they were always outside, they were always playing in the park.
I suppose it's
mainly
a lot
the
like
weather.
England, apart from the weather and the lifestyle, just it's so far away.
Yeah.
For Mel, the holiday confirmed that Oz offered the family lifestyle she wanted. But Rob isn't so sure.
I think deep down he knows it's the best place, but it's just hard for him to leave people behind. But we've either got to go or that's it, we're not going. And, I just don't want to get to that point. We've got 2 years left before our visa expires. Once that expires, if we haven't gone to Australia permanently, then we just wouldn't be able to get that visa again. I just want to get out there now. I've just got to try and convince Rob.
For the Andrews to make the move, Rob will have to walk away from the family cleaning business he runs with his brother and start again in Australia.
Work does worry me as well, even though I would do anything to do work. Moving to Australia and starting fresh and not having the network support that you've got here, it will be hard. So, yeah, that does worry me as well.
But there's something even more important than work that Rob would have to leave behind, his close family and friends.
My aunt and uncle I'm very close to. And they mean everything to me. Leaving them behind is just going to be very hard. Because I'm just going to miss them so much.
I wouldn't want Rob to do anything that he didn't want to do. And I certainly don't want him to think that I'm trying to emotionally blackmail him into going and forcing him, because, you know, I wouldn't. I love him to bits. So, you know, at the end of the day, he's my husband, and if he doesn't want to go, then we won't go. But, you know, I just don't know how much I'd resent him later on for not going.
I've always said I'll never say goodbye. I'll say I'll see you soon, because I think goodbye means, you know, maybe forever. And, you know, I don't want it to be like that.
With so much at stake, everyone's emotions are running high. Ahead of them is a huge decision, perhaps the toughest they will ever have to make. One thing that could help Rob make the move is having familiar faces close by. With relatives in the area, the family are keen to visit Perth in Western Australia. For the next week, home will be the popular beachside suburb of Waterman's Bay, just a short drive from the airport. This 3-bedroom property is only a couple of minutes' walk to the beach and has plenty of space for all the family.
Look. Oh, look.
I think the kids have got over their jet lag now.
No, they won't go sleep tonight.
No, it'd be a nightmare tonight.
The kids look to have settled in nicely, but for Mel and Rob, thoughts are already on the week ahead.
What I'd really like to get out of this week would be really for Rob to really like it and to think, yeah, I could see myself living here.
You know, it could either go one way or the other. I think it's going to open our eyes a lot more to what we thought it was going to be like.
Just as soon as you get here, you just got that vibe about the place that you could just see yourself living here. So, yeah, first impression's very good.
Back in the UK, the Andrews live in a 3-bedroom ex-council house in Folkestone. Over the years, they've upgraded their home and believe it's worth around £160,000. In all, they could have a budget of $180,000 to spend on an Australian house. But if Rob is going to be persuaded to move, his new home will need to have a couple of important features.
It would be at least a 4-bedroom detached. Whether it's got a pool or not, it's got to have a home cinema. That's always been something I've always wanted. Mel does want a nice house, but as long as it's big enough to hopefully accommodate loads of visits from friends and family, then that would do me fine.
Today, we'll give the Andrews a taste of Perth's housing market. We'll show them 3 options based upon what they want from their ideal home, what they can actually afford, and the real cost of property down under. After seeing for themselves what's on offer, we'll reveal to the Andrews just how much each house costs.
We're starting the search in the suburb of Butler on the outskirts of the city. This 3-bedroom property is a typical modern Aussie-style home which should appeal to Mel. But what will they make of it?
Nice size front room.
Not bad size.
You could have a dining room table here, couldn't you?
I don't know, I'm not liking this at the moment.
So I don't mind it.
No.
Not a bad sized kitchen though.
But when you look from the kitchen down there, it's not open plan.
Rob's not impressed, and with only 3 bedrooms, his wish list is looking tricky.
A walk-in wardrobe and an ensuite.
No, this isn't bad.
Yeah, no.
But then you don't live in your bedroom, so...
No, no.
Not appealing to me much.
No.
I'm afraid.
No.
There's only the outside space left to try and tempt Rob.
This is quite nice because it's
Yeah.
like a blank canvas.
We would have to spend a lot to get it how we would want it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would be worth it.
This house has left Rob cold, but they have no idea of its price, so can they afford it with their £180,000 budget?
Come on then.
Oh!
230,000.
230,000. $347,000
Don't you think the properties are more expensive?
than what we thought.
Yeah.
If if I had a choice to buy this, I wouldn't.
No.
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
That's all.
At £50,000 over budget, it's a big setback for Mel.
It's a no-no, this one.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Well, let's just hope you like the next one then.
At home, the Andrews live very close to their work and social life. But Perth is expanding rapidly and the affordable housing is out in the suburbs, meaning anything up to a 2-hour daily commute. But by moving further from the city, they should get more for their money. The average house prices in Yanchep are still high, so a realistic option could be a cheaper new build. As the development is still being built, they'll view a 3-bedroom show home to give them an idea of what a typical finished house will look like.
It's nice. Nice big walk-in wardrobe. What size of that?
God, the size of this. God, this is lovely. As soon as you walk through the door, it's got that bit of a wow factor.
It's a much better start, and Rob's in for a pleasant surprise.
The cinema room. Ticks all the boxes so far.
Oh, definitely. Without a doubt.
Bedroom. Nice double bedroom. Ideal for Kobe. I like the big windows as well.
Quite
Oh, this is
size
nice.
bedroom.
Oh, Lexi would love this room.
It's lovely, isn't it?
They're all nice sized rooms,
Yeah.
aren't they? We best both get working. So I can have this house.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
With its stylish interiors and open spaces, this house feels ideal. And a large garden complete with barbecue seems tailor-made for Mel's dream of an outdoor lifestyle, assuming the sun comes out. All that remains is to find out the price, but after discovering the first house was way over budget, could this house offer so much more for less?
Wow.
Oh my God.
£200,000. $300,000.
Nice. That's all I can say.
Can we move in?
You wouldn't get something like this back in England
No, not for that.
200,000, I don't think.
No, you wouldn't.
If there's a chance that we could afford one of these properties,
Yeah.
you know, it does sort of put you up the ladder a bit more.
It's an ideal result for Mel, and even Rob looks as if he's ready to grab a tinny and the remote. But before they can make a final decision, there's one more property to see. Could it seal the deal for the Andrews? The final house is in the coastal suburb of Banksia Grove. A 30-minute drive to Perth makes it the closest of all 3 properties to the city. Like so much of what's on offer in Perth, it's another new-built house. Again, this house is under construction, so Mel and Rob will view a show home. With 4 bedrooms, a cinema room and open-plan design, on paper this house sounds a perfect fit.
Nice. Yeah. It's a bit cool, eh? Wow. Walk-in wardrobe. Nice. The ensuite. Nice shower.
It's another good start, but will Rob enjoy the cinema room?
Oh, this is nice.
The cinema room.
Yeah. Oh, I could see myself sitting in here.
Kobe would love it.
Yeah. Oh, this is
Like
lovely.
kitchen.
It's lovely.
It's an ideal size for us 4.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love it so far.
Yeah, I do. Moving tomorrow.
It looks as if property 3 has all the room they could want.
So that's 4 bedrooms.
Weren't expecting.
No, I thought it'd only be a 3-bedroom.
I'm quite surprised being a 4-bedroom.
Yeah.
Rob is won over by this house, and there's just the outside space to see. With its stunning garden complete with beer pumps, it seems to have everything they're looking for.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice.
Perfect.
But now they've seen the dream home, can they afford it?
I would say, looking at this, I would say between 250 to 270.
Do you reckon?
Go on, do you want to do the honours? I wasn't far off
£270,000. So we wouldn't really be able to afford it.
No, I was expecting maybe a little bit cheaper than $405,000.
If we were both working full-time in Australia, then I don't see why we wouldn't be able to afford
Something like this.
something like this. Now I've seen it, I want it.
Oh, I know that, I know that.
If we had a house like this, it would definitely encourage you to move out here, wouldn't it?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
They found a dream house that would get Rob to Australia, but it's way over budget. It's been an eye-opening day for the Andrews. The first house offered Mel the space and location she wanted, but Rob's reaction and a big price tag left the Andrews feeling cold. The second house spiced things up with its stunning interiors and cinema room. And costing less than they expected, it showed Rob an upside to property down under. Finally, the third house's open-plan living and decor to die for offered both Rob and Mel a genuine dream house, even if the cost was a big ask. But while Mel could be happy in any of them, have these properties done enough to convince Rob that the pain of leaving home could be worth it?
Based on the properties that we've seen today, the houses in Australia versus England, we have decided to vote for Australia.
For the money you spend, you get a lot more for your money.
Yeah.
And like the 3 properties we saw, 2 of them were just really nice and
Yeah.
just what we was looking for.
Round 1 Australia.
Get ready for round 2.
Yep. Nice.
Rob's positive response is music to Mel's ears. But with both the properties they liked over budget, the move will be impossible unless Australia can offer good work opportunities for Mel and Rob, with salaries to match.
Back in the UK, Rob works at the cleaning firm started by his parents. It's been in the family for more than 25 years, so not only would he be leaving a business, but also his brother, who runs the company with him.
Because I work with my brother, every day, and go out on our bikes once a week. It has. I feel that we've got a really good relationship now, and we're a lot closer than what we used to be. So that will be very hard to not have anymore.
Moving the company down under would be impossible, so he's considering a return to a trade he learned years ago.
I did used to do painting and decorating many years ago. It's something I enjoy, so whether there was a way of getting into that field of work, I would like to definitely find out more about that as well.
But while Rob's work is vital to their finances, it's Mel who holds the key to making the move, thanks to the hairdressing qualifications which earned their visa. However, having stopped work to have a family, she has a huge confidence issue about returning to work full-time.
My main reservations about going back into hairdressing is, am I still as good as I think I am or that I was, because I haven't worked in a salon for so long, and obviously, techniques have changed, and I suppose that's my main reservation is, am I going to be as good as I need to be?
So we've arranged for her to see if she can still cut it at a modern salon in Subiaco, a trendy inner city suburb. There's a huge amount resting on her ability to impress.
I think the pressure is on me to try and find work first rather than Rob. Just mainly because obviously I've got that skill, and hopefully that hairdressers are still in demand, that I could maybe get a job straight away, at least to get the money rolling in when we first arrive. Hiya. Hello.
Manager Charlene is on hand for advice.
Come on through.
With introductions out the way, it's straight to work.
So if you can shampoo, blow dry and style it, so I can just have a look at your blow drying skill.
Yep,
So
okay.
let's get started with that.
Lovely.
Okay, Laura?
How's that water for you, Laura?
Although it's vital Mel finds work, she knows if Rob's to be convinced about living in Australia, he needs to feel happy in a new career.
Even though I've done the work before, it's still, finding out if they do things different to what we do back in the UK.
A lot rests on today. If Rob can find work that pays a decent wage, Mel will be another step closer to her dream.
The work is the most important thing in this move. If we can both get a job that we both enjoy, and the money's there, then we can start to set our target in achieving the house that we want and the area that we want to live in.
He's spending the day painting and decorating a house in Scarborough, a suburb 6 miles from the city with lots of ongoing development. But first, there's a chance to meet expat Bernie, who runs his own painting and decorating business.
All right, mate. Rob.
Mate, how are you? Rob, Bernie.
How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate.
Keen to see what he can do, Bernie sets Rob to work. But is he really prepared to trade working in the sunshine for everything he has in the UK?
All right, Robbie, how are we looking?
Yeah, good, mate.
Beautiful.
Can't beat doing this in this weather. I've still got, concerns about leaving, me family behind. But I think if they saw what I could actually achieve here, hopefully they can come round to the way that we're thinking, and they'll be pleased with the decision that we may make.
Back at the salon, Mel is hard at work, but her inexperience may be showing.
Just yell out if you get stuck, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, you're going well.
It's just getting used to doing it all again.
Yeah. If you're thinking about coming out here in another 6 months, you could do a few courses in London, or go to a few salons and maybe get some part-time work, just so you're not so rusty when you come to Australia, because our expectations are quite high.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's bad news. If Mel wants to make the grade in Oz, she may have to retrain. And at about $500 a course, she could be looking at a couple of $1,000 just to get back up to speed. Could her salary compensate for this?
If I was employed as a junior stylist, what are the wages sort of?
Like I said, would be around about between 19 to 21.
Okay.
Salary may be negotiable, but one thing isn't.
There's no negotiation with Saturdays. So if you wanted Saturdays off, I wouldn't be interested. Thank you so much.
Hairdressing could offer Mel upwards of £28,000, $10,000 more than she could earn in the UK. But it would come at a cost of retraining and having less time with the family.
I think the fact that I'd have to retrain, it hasn't put me off hairdressing, because I think in a way, it's something that I would like to do to refresh my memory as well, for like colouring and cutting, and to be able to do more up-to-date techniques and things like that.
It's a mixed result for Mel, so everything could now hinge on Rob.
That's it.
But before he can decide, he needs to get some answers from Bernie.
What's the wage that a decent painter could earn?
Average $30 an hour.
That's good.
Yep. So if you were to work a Saturday, it's on about $75,000 a year.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, no, it's a good life.
Yeah.
Yep.
So work-wise in Perth, is there quite a bit of work here?
Yeah, there's plenty of work in Australia. I've never been out of work myself.
And how long you been here for?
13 years.
13 years?
Yep. Yeah, you can't go wrong. Just look me up when you get here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Maybe sooner rather than later then.
Yeah, I'll give you a try.
It's an ideal result for Rob, who could earn more than £50,000 a year, doubling his current UK salary. And there's more good news.
The best thing I found out about today was the hours. 7:30 in the morning, finishing at 3:30 in the afternoon. So at least, you've got time in the evenings to actually see the kids from school, pop down the beach. It's just amazing. So overall, really, really pleased.
But is all this promise really worth giving up the family business for? It's a huge decision, and the future of the move lies in Rob's hands.
How'd you get on?
You all right, you?
Yeah. You had a good day? Yeah.
Good. All right.
Yeah, all right.
Cool.
All right.
Based on our work experience today and the working hours and the wages we can earn, we are voting for
Australia.
Australia.
Ooh.
Shocked?
I am actually. Oh, I'm crying.
Hey.
I think I was just so worried that, you wouldn't, they'd say, oh, you need to be qualified or you wouldn't be able to earn the money. And I was like, oh, God, he's going to choose England and that would be it. That would be our dream over. So I'm pleased.
With good opportunities for Mel and Rob to find work, Mel's dream seems to be inching closer to reality. But it comes at a big cost. Long commutes and more hours away from Kobe and Lexi. A lot hinges on how much they can raise from the sale of their home in the UK. It's time for a reality check.
We've sent 2 local estate agents round to the Andrews house in Kent to get an estimate of what it may fetch on the current market. They'll need to raise between £130,000 and £160,000 to get their dream home down under.
So this is a very nicely attractive, stylish room. And obviously the main attribute is its view over the town to the front, as far as the channel. Very nicely refitted galley-style kitchen. I think it just needs a bit of final finishing, possibly the kickboards, because you can see the edge of the tiling.
Oh, look! Oh!
Here we are in the back garden. It's all low maintenance, paved at the bottom, and then steps up to a rear pedestrian access. All nicely done. Room here, the main bedroom, which is double size, perhaps could do with a bit more space towards the end of the bed.
For a second bedroom, it's a good size. You've got plenty of built-in storage, which certainly helps with. You've got children's storage and things, so it's a good size room. It looks like a newly fitted bathroom suite, nice and neutrally decorated, nice tiles, so it's a good size, especially for a family bathroom, so it's a good room.
Despite all the plus points, it is a slightly limited value location.
It is more of an up-and-coming area, but it does still have a little bit of a stigma of being a council area.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I value it at £135,000.
It appeals to first-time buyers and kind of young families. The valuation that I would put on the property would be somewhere between £135,000 and £140,000.
I was a bit worried because, with the downturn of the UK market, that could have been so much worse.
Yeah. So at least we know we've still got equity in it, even though we wouldn't sell it at that.
No.
But we could rent it out.
So overall...
Well, not a bad result.
No. I'm really pleased with that.
Yeah, it's good.
So the figures are slightly lower than they'd hoped for, but renting could be an option. Everything now hangs on the cost of living. We've prepared a breakdown of the family's everyday expenses, and based on their calculations, they'll find out if they can afford to live down under.
No. Shopping list. £9.81. Oh my God. Is that right?
The weekly shop in Australia is much more expensive than in the UK. Can their salaries make up the difference? Can their salaries make up the difference?
So in the UK, our total income per year is $28,120. So you full-time in Australia, me full-time, we would be £3,950 a month.
That is my junior stylist, so that would go up.
So obviously we've got to take into consideration the mortgage. So even with that taken off, you're still looking roughly about £2,000 better off
a month.
It's there for the taking.
On paper, it looks like the Andrews could be as much as £2,000 a month better off in Australia.
Yummy.
but Mel will have to work full-time and Saturdays. Is she prepared to make that sacrifice?
Based on the figures that we've seen today for the reality check and the wages that we could potentially earn in Australia and how they compared to the UK, we have decided to vote for Australia.
With what you can earn and the rewards you get outweighs the UK.
Definitely.
By far. So it was a no-brainer, Australia.
Definitely.
So we could actually have a really nice lifestyle as a family.
Good.
Please.
With Australia offering a chance of a big boost to their finances, the Andrews seem closer than ever to Oz. And if Perth can give them the lifestyle they're after, it may be the final step in convincing Rob that the pain of leaving home and family behind is worth it.
To give Rob a taste of what Perth has to offer, the Andrews set off for a typically Aussie family day out. Western Australia's climate offers an all-year-round outdoor lifestyle, ideal for a young family like the Andrews. And if the beach isn't your thing, then there are some stunning national parks to explore. Today, the Andrews are heading to John Forest Park, about 16 miles from Perth. With plenty of walking trails and lots of wildlife, it should be the ideal location for a family day.
This area is lovely, isn't it?
The park we've come to is, the views are just stunning.
You can't believe that, like a day like today, and it's
a winter's
winter.
day like this, it's just beautiful.
This is just how I imagined life in Australia to be, you know, being able to be outdoors, taking the kids places all together as a family. You know, the kids are going to benefit from it big time.
I still have my concerns. The only reason being is the simple fact is leaving friends and family. That's the biggest sacrifice we've got to make, and if that wasn't the case, I honestly would just go and pack my bags and come here tomorrow.
What might ease his worries is a chance to indulge a hobby from back home. Before he sets off, Kobe has some words of advice for his dad.
Don't fall off.
I won't.
G'day, Rob.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Joining Rob is Greg from the Perth Mountain Bike Club. Oops, Rob didn't listen to Kobe.
I took a bit of a tumble, but that's part and parcel of mountain biking. But now I'm fine. Just my pride hurts more than anything. If I'm here, it's just a shame that me brother won't be here to do it, which is just a sad bit, because it's me and him that always go out and do stuff like that. But no, something like this, it's just brilliant.
The reality of what he'd be leaving is becoming clear to Rob, but for Mel it's just as clear Australia offers all she's ever wanted.
I don't know why, but I've never really felt settled anywhere. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but here I could honestly say I could call this my home. If Rob didn't vote Australia, obviously I'd be upset, because I think this week, it has had a positive effect. But if he chooses the UK, I guess I just have to try and work on him a bit more. And I will.
It's been a day to remember, but can a taste of the Australian lifestyle offer enough to win everyone's vote?
On today's outing, and based on the day we had, we are going to vote for
Australia.
Australia.
undecided.
Really?
When I'd done the mountain biking, which I really enjoyed, it just brought home with, like, my brother.
I knew it would.
That is the only thing. Like, it was my brother that got me into it, and I just felt a bit lonely, that was all.
Yeah. So I've still got a bit of convincing then to get you out here.
What should have been the most enjoyable day of the trip left Rob back where he started, and with time running out, Mel knows just what's at stake.
This is my last chance, you know, this is my third time to try and get out to Australia, so it's, you know, this is it. I haven't got any other chances, so I'm just hoping that, you know, I can convince Rob that this would be the best place to bring up the kids and, you know, for all of us as a family, be able to settle down and, you know, just enjoy our lifestyle.
Leaving loved ones is always the toughest challenge when emigrating to the other side of the world. Rob's reminder of how much he would miss his family is a huge setback. Seeing messages from back home may put the big decision in jeopardy.
The Andrews are very close to their family in the UK, so watching messages will be hard for them all. But Rob and Mel feel it's important for the children to join them.
Hello, hello Mel, Rob, Kobe, Lexi. Hope you're having a perfect time.
Hello, Mel and Robert.
Hope you're having a good time out there. Hope the sun's shining.
What are they like as a family? They're loving, very loving.
Very close.
Very close. Very caring.
They're really, really good fun. Their children are lovely.
Really, really nice family. Yeah.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, Rob is always the funniest person in the room, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. He is definitely one of a kind.
Lexi's kind of just happy-go-lucky, bouncy. She's getting to the age where she's
a minx.
You know.
Kobe, he's quite a bright lad. You only have to show him something once and he picks it up. He's quite good like that. Yes. Very caring.
Yeah. When I first heard that they was going to be moving to Australia and applying to go to Australia, and I thought it was going to be a good thing. I know they both wanted to do something like that anyway.
He's like a brother.
I don't really know how we're going to sort of fill the gap that they're going to leave until, you know, they've actually done it, really, you know. But decision's up to you, and I'm sure you'll make the right one. Good luck.
We love you dearly, very, very much. We all do. And we hope you make the right decision, and
yeah, good luck.
Good luck, and love you.
Yeah.
And I hope that you've done all that you wanted to do.
Yeah, whatever decision you make sure it's for you. Make sure it's the one that you're happy with and the one that will make you happy.
As your mum, I just want you to be happy.
Yeah, and we'll see you when you get back. Take care. Bye.
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 How do you feel?
Sad.
I feel sad. You know, there's been some real big positives, but then you watch that,
and it makes you feel.
And it like can just take everything away, and I know it just throws everything up in the air, doesn't it? So we've got whatever decision we make, we've got to make.
I just want my kids to get the best out of everything, really. You know, I just want them to enjoy life, and you know, I know we're taking them away from friends and family, but they will make new friends here.
You know, my auntie and uncle, I know it's hard for them. It's hard for me as well.
The thing is, we don't know if it's the right decision or not, but I guess we'll never know unless we try it.
Seeing the people care about has brought home just how painful a move would be for the whole family. If too high a price to pay, the move to Australia will be over. It's been an emotional week. Time for the Andrews family to make their final decision.
I've really enjoyed this week. Obviously on the downside, there's
You know, you watch your family and friends at home, and you know it doesn't make it any easier, and you know that it's going to be really hard having to leave them behind. You know, if I think about it too much, I'd probably crack and say no. You know, I can't do it, but I've got to try and focus and think what's best for our family and our future. So I just think if I don't try it, I'll never know, and I know I'll end up kicking myself, thinking I should have done it when I had the chance.
My emotions have been up and down a week, like especially with the flight over here. There's so much on my mind. If I decided against the move to Australia, Mel, yeah, I think she would be upset. So yeah, that does play on my mind a little bit, you know, because you know she's my wife at the end of the day, and I want to try to make her happy.
Obviously, I'd be devastated. I'd be gutted if he said that he didn't want to go. But you know, if he really doesn't want to do something, he won't. So I wouldn't be able to make him do it. So we shall see.
It's the end of an emotional week and time for the Andrews' final vote.
The whole family has spent 1 week in Australia. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, and it's now time for the family to vote whether it's UK or Australia.
Based on our week here in Australia, as a family, we have decided that we want to live in Australia.
Australia.
Really?
I think if we don't give it a go, we'll regret it for the rest of our lives. It's going to be the hardest thing we'll ever do, but life's too short to have regrets. I don't want that.
Cool. What about you, Cobes?
What did you say to Daddy? You want to live in Australia and you want to live in the UK, don't you?
Yeah. And Lexi chose Australia. It is a big step, and we don't know if the grass is greener on the other side, but unless we try it, we'll never know, and I'd rather find out for myself. And I still think in my heart that, you know, if we could make it after a couple of years, I honestly don't think we'd want to go back.
But, yeah, I think for the family's point of view, yeah, you've got to do it. Definitely. Go for it? And go for it?
Love you.
After facing the financial and emotional cost of leaving, the Andrews have chosen a future in Australia. With a tough decision behind them, it's time now for the next part of their journey to begin.
And Tim Wonicot's found himself down under for a new series of Bargain Hunt at midday here on BBC One. Homes Under the Hammer is next.
Any move for a family can throw up big challenges. But imagine if that move was to the other side of the world. Finding the right house, juggling finances and getting a job is all daunting enough. But if your partner can't face leaving their friends and family behind, it becomes a huge decision to make.
Melanie Andrews is desperate to convince husband Rob that a life down under is better for their future and worth giving up family ties in the UK.
My aunt and uncle, they mean everything to me. Leaving them behind is just going to be very hard.
After a week of shocks...
I'm not liking this at the moment.
Surprises...
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm crying.
and tumbles, they'll have to face a choice that could leave someone broken-hearted.
Just don't know how much I'd resent him later on for not going.
Australia's warm climate and golden beaches have long been a magnet for Brits seeking a new life abroad. On average, nearly 100 of us emigrate to Australia every day, but the dream doesn't always match up to reality, and as many as a third of new arrivals end up heading back home.
The Andrews have 1 week to experience the reality of life in Australia before they decide whether to make the move a permanent one. But to make that choice means leaving Folkestone far behind and travelling to the other side of the world.
In fact, it's 9,000 miles, 2 flights and 22 hours in the air, and the long journey has given them time to think about the adventure ahead.
I think we're excited about this week, aren't we? You know, I'm nervous as well, but I'm really looking forward to it. I just want to get in there and convince Rob that it's going to be good.
It's going to be more of a reality check.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big test this week.
This is sort of like the make or break.
They set off for a week that could change their lives forever. It's a world away from their home in Folkestone, Kent. 35-year-old Mel and husband Rob, who's 40, along with their children Kobe 7 and little Lexi 3, share a happy home. But for Mel, it's Australia that offers the life she's dreamt of since she was a teenager.
I'd originally planned to go travelling for 6 weeks and it fell through, so I couldn't go. And there was a second time that I was going to go and that fell through, and I was so upset and so gutted that I couldn't go.
No one wanted to take her, to be
No,
honest.
so it's third time lucky, and after being there on holiday for 3 weeks, I absolutely loved it, and Kobe and Lexi did as well, and they were always outside, they're always playing in the park.
I suppose it is
It's mainly
a lot
the
like
weather.
England, apart from the weather and the lifestyle, just it's so far away.
For Mel, the holiday confirmed that Oz offered the family lifestyle she wanted. But Rob isn't so sure.
I think deep down he knows it's the best place, but it's just hard for him to leave people behind. But we've either got to go or that's it, we're not going. And, you know, I just don't want to get to that point. We've got 2 years left before our visa expires. Once that expires, if we haven't gone to Australia permanently, then we just wouldn't be able to get that visa again. I just want to get out there now. You know, I've just got to try and convince Rob.
For the Andrews to make the move, Rob will have to walk away from the family cleaning business he runs with his brother and start again in Australia.
Work does worry me as well, even though I would do anything to do work. Moving